gee, I hope that the world gets the chance to see this bloke in the Japan Cup in November.
For Might and Power, 180 and 130. Number 6, Champagne, to pay $2.50, and 1 Catlin opening, no third.
And $1.30. Number 6, Champagne, has paid $2.70, and there'll be no third for 1 Catlin opening. Those numbers will be official in just a moment. Might and Power by Zabeel. Little wonder they've more than doubled Zabeel's service fee for this coming season with the success that this New Zealand-based stallion is achieving. Benediction, the mama, Might and Power, who's a Bayer Brown gelding for, owned by Nick Moratis, trained by Jack Denham, and Brian York again stand to advantage. Look, I don't think it'll matter who you put on this fella. I think you and I could ride him, Rod, and he wouldn't win by as much, but I think he'd win. He's just a freak.
Protest dismissed, Melbourne. Correct weight.
Freak horse. 4-6-1-2. 4-6-1-2. Champagne second. By Zabeel, like the winner from Lequiz, Laurie Lax and Greg Childs, and number 1 third, Catlin opening, Carpstad, Dawn Music, Bart Cummings, Larry Cassidy, 2 fourth, Juggler, and 3 was fifth, and that was Danamora. And poor old Intergaze, well, he's just hopelessly out of form. It's bad luck. He's had many a setback, Intergaze, prior to coming back for this preparation, and it's a shame to see such a top quality horse from yesteryear performing the way he is at the moment. 4-6 and 1. Quinella 5.30, trifecta 28.60, and the exacta $7.40.
Now we've got race 4
down there. I'd like to during the big carnivals, Greg Radley has had the job of interviewing winning trainers, owners, jockeys as the horses come back to scale. And if I use the public address, I cut him off, and I don't want to do that, so I've got to be very, very careful. It's a matter of jumping in where you can. One of Nick Moratis' boys there, is that Steve or Paul? I'm not quite sure, but gee, the tie stood out like a beacon. Good on you, Nick. Our special guest on Inside Running on Sky last night, a gracious, humble winner, and I don't think I've ever seen a better loser than Nick Moratis. When things go wrong, as disappointed as he is, he accepts it very, very graciously. A great winner and an even better loser, and I can't think of a better tribute to anybody in racing. Ah, gee. I'm absolutely flabbergasted, to use a well-worn media cliche in Sydney town. Flabbergasted. The winning margin is 10.5 lengths. Well, I wouldn't have picked the half, no matter what. I suppose you could flum the 10, but you wouldn't get the half. Quinella 5.30, trifecta 28.60, and Might and Power in collecting another, how much? Oh, only 204,000. That takes his prize money tally to about, just at a very rough calculation, about 3.6 million. Here's Nick Moratis with Greg Radley.
And win the Mercedes and a Queen Elizabeth in much the same style.
I think he's really proved himself today.
Yeah. We'll let you enjoy this moment while Brian York unsaddles Might and Power. He thought he had a great thrill last time in the Mercedes Classic. Hang on. He wants to go again. We'll talk to Brian after he gets the saddle off. He wants to go round again.
Right, thanks, Greg. Greg Radley and Nick Moratis. Might and Power won't stand still long enough for Brian to get the saddle off. Trainer Jack Denham, no doubt feeling a little deflated after a Glazier's failure in the Champagne Stakes. That'll lift him again. And what a horse. You know, Jack Denham made the statement after the Packer Plate last year. Let's listen to Brian York.
Kept rolling along. There were no hope of catching him.
No, and I'll tell you what, there was more there too.
There was more there? Another 400 metres, a few more legs?
Yeah, mate, he would have found another 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Brian York, everyone. Champion rider.
Did you hear that? He'd have found another 2 or 3. That makes it 13 lengths. 12.5 or 13 lengths. Matt, I'm not being silly. We can call him a champion, can't we?
Oh, definitely, John. Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup, Mercedes Classic, Queen Elizabeth Stakes in the one campaign. Yeah, I think it's pretty fair to call him a champion, John. And he's going to confirm that when he comes back next campaign in the spring, and Jack Denham might finally get that Cox Plate that's eluded him for, 30 or 40 years or whatever it was. I remember in the Jack Denham interview with John Tapp, he told him that is the one that's got away, and that is the one that he wants, the Cox Plate. And he has, Mighton Power's proven himself at weight for age now. Prior to his win in the Mercedes Classic, he hadn't won at weight for age, but he's a star when it comes to weight for age. The Mercedes Classic, and he's killed them in that race today. So the Cox Plate is obviously going to be his next race. Well, he's not going to be able to get into handicaps. He'll be carrying 65 kilos if they run him in handicaps. And I read in the paper during the week that Nick Moraitis might even have his eye on the Japan Cup. He's very keen to go to Japan. So that could be the plan for Mighton Power next spring. Cox Plate, Japan Cup, and the obvious lead-up races, of course. But what a great horse he is. Mighton Power, winning the Queen Elizabeth. He's come back to a great reception there in Sydney.
Stalls are back and they're off and running. Lauderdale and our Unicorn bumped pretty heavily just after the jump, and over on the inside, first out, Break the Bank landed in front. But here's What a Great Guy taking up the lead now, and Sky Trist is further out. For the moment is Handy when they settle down, and just behind those is Tumble Home. Sky Trist on the outside, crossing over now at the 100-metre mark the first time. Moved out 2.5, What a Great Guy. Over on the inside, Tumble Home, Kalina Raffin, and for the moment, caught feet 4 deep. Clark has to heel it up quickly, going out of the straight. They've got her out wide, the Sydney filly. Further back in the race, our Unicorn, quickly across to the inside. They're followed on the outside of it by Tumble Home, then Walsall. Back behind those would have been the inside King Lap. 2 lengths further back, Pirate Anchor on the outside of it, Lauderdale. Then Gascoigne and Behemoth last of all. Up the riverside they race. Sky Trist took over. Let out 2.5 now. For the moment, got across to be second. Third is Break the Bank, 1/2. Then Kalina Raffin fourth. A length and a half for the back, Tumble Home. What a Great Guy is on the outside. I think the saddle might have moved. It's going around the outside quickly. Our Unicorn tucked away about 7th on the fence, and Walsall's out 3 deep. A length and a half, Lauderdale, followed on the inside by King Lap. Then Gascoigne out 3 deep. A couple of lengths to Pirate Anchor at the 1700-metre mark, and Behemoth has moved up on the outside of it. Up the back they go. Sky Trist in front, 1.5 now to What a Great Guy. Seems to have settled again second. Break the Bank third. Then For the Moment running fourth on the outside. A length and a half then to Kalina Raffin. Fifth on the outside of our Unicorn, getting a nice run. 3 deep the outside of those, then Walsall. Then came Tumble Home. Gascoigne 3 deep. On the inside, King Lap, a length and a half, Lauderdale, and Pirate Anchor, and they slow up in front. At last of all, Behemoth about 12 off the front. At Chiquita Lodge, they race at the 1200-metre mark, and the St Ledger, the filly, Sky Trist in front. Walsall has gone up second now, 3/4 away. A length and a half for the back, Break the Bank. What a Great Guy dropped out, going up fourth on the outside of it, then For the Moment. They're followed by our Unicorn, still getting that good run. They're followed for the back by Kalina Raffin. Further back in the race, Gascoigne from Tumble Home, then came Behemoth, starting a run with Lauderdale. Further back, King Lap dropped out, and Pirate Anchor last of all. Sky Trist the leader as they go towards the 800-metre mark in the St Ledger, a neck in front of Walsall, and on the outside then For the Moment's quickly gone up to tackle those under a bit of pressure, but joining in. Lauderdale's quickly gone up outside it. Then came our Unicorn about to get clear. Further back, Tumble Home, and Behemoth pulled to the outside. Around the turn they race at the 650-metre mark, and they're across the track. Sky Trist just in front. For the Moment under pressure. Lauderdale and our Unicorn claims them now from Tumble Home. Then came Behemoth further back, but our Unicorn hit the front at the 300-metre mark in the St Ledger and moved a length and a half. Tumble Home. Then Behemoth coming down the middle from Sky Trist at the 200. Our Unicorn over a length in front. Behemoth the danger out in the middle from Tumble Home. Our Unicorn in front. Behemoth wearing it down, moving up on the outside. Our Unicorn and Behemoth. Behemoth getting to our Unicorn, 100 to go. Behemoth, our Unicorn, stride for stride. Behemoth wins the St Ledger, a half neck on the line, our Unicorn. 3 away, third is Tumble Home. A gap in the race For the Moment, followed by Sky Trist. Then came Lauderdale, further back King Lap. They're followed by Walsall, and then came Kalina Raffin. Well back was Gascoigne, followed by Pirate Anchor. And What a Great Guy, and last of all is Break the Bank.
3 Behemoth, 390, 170. 2 our Unicorn, 160. 6 Tumble Home, 350.
Number 3, Behemoth, to pay $3.70, 160 off Perth. 2 our Unicorn, 170, and number 6, Tumble Home, to pay $3.50. Here's Perth.
Over on the outside.
Thanks, Matt, and 2 of Hawksy's runners here today, of course, in this race. Thanks, Ken. John Hawkes, 2 runners, off and running. Good start in the Endeavour, and away very smartly is Marsh Party. Ryder doesn't want to lead, however. La Baraka with the dark blue and yellow cap is going up stylishly on the outside. Close handy when they get going. Kiwi Hero and Accomplice on the fence in the black with a cerise cap is going to land in the box seat. And then Rock You, followed by Coogee Walk. 2.5 to Flavour, and 4 lengths away Monopolise as they go over the crossing. La Baraka got to the fence, is steadied by Moses, led by nearly a length to Kiwi Hero. Accomplice third with the run of the race. A length away Mask Party, and then Rock You and Coogee Walk. 2 to Flavour and 4 to Monopolise. Coming around the turn, 500 out. La Baraka held together 3/4 Kiwi Hero. Accomplice on the rails third, followed by Mask Party, pushed along. Coogee Walk's got to go deep on the turn, and then Rock You, followed by Flavour. Over the rise, La Baraka travelling within herself. Got to wait 2 lengths on Kiwi Hero. Accomplice flat to the boards, and then Mask Party. Coogee Walk wide out is starting to warm up. La Baraka's in front past the 200. Mask Party and Coogee Walk are both trying desperately, but this young filly, this 3-year-old filly, La Baraka, is going to brain him in the Endeavour Stakes. La Baraka leads most of the way to win easily from Mask Party. Coogee Walk third, then Kiwi Hero, Flavour. Monopolise did well to make up that much ground. Rock You second last, and weakening badly to finish at the tail of the field is Accomplice. He was sweating up badly before the race, Accomplice. He just looked like a horse who was very new, and he raced like a horse that was very new. La Baraka didn't. She brained him. By Hugh Clays out of Triscay, should have made $500,000 at her yearling sale. She made 40,000 because she's got a few conformation faults. I think she's pigeon-toed, might be a main problem, but she's got very suspect-looking front legs. Now look at this, you can see how suspect they are. Suspect my foot. Can't she pick them up and put them down? La Baraka, the Galaxy Endeavour Stakes double, $2.90 and $1.50. Number 4, Masked Party, running yet another minor placing, $1.70, and number 7, Coogee Walk, $1.80. Quinella, $7.30, and I missed the trifecta, which has gone off the semaphore. We'll check that shortly. La Baraka, eh? 40.30, 40.30. Trifecta, $40.30, 40.30. I must have offended him. He put it back up again. 40.30. La Baraka by Hugh Clays out of Triscay, and raced by GJ and Mrs. B.S. Donnet, trained by Peter Hayes, and Kevin Moses, who'd been fairly quiet for most of the racing season, has had a pretty good carnival. He's won 2 good races on this filly, and he won a race here last, where are we? Last Saturday on Luigi the Great. Look at these colours. If you're wondering what the hell they call that symbol on the front and the back of the silks, it's called a Cross of Lorraine. The colours are described as royal blue with a gold Cross of Lorraine and a gold cap. Well, we should thank Lorraine for that very spectacular symbol on the front and back of the jacket. First 600 in 35.69, last 600 35.98, 111.67, 3 lengths. She bolted in a length and 3/4 second and third. As we go back to you, Matt.
Okay, John, thanks. Next.
And they're on their way this time. They jumped in a good line too. One of the best out was Sweet Delight, landed in front here in the early point from Baby Boomer, nice and handy, and Miss Tesla quickly working up to the front. Miss Tesla went around the outside to lead now from Sweet Delight. Anna Scorbic, 2 lengths further back, Lady Baton. Baby Boomer is 5th early, a length further back, Sunny Lane, 1.5 Soulier, and last of all Spectrum. Miss Tesla, the leader at Chiquita Lodge at the 12.50, putting on a good clip in front. She wants to race in front. She's giving Hall a bit of a ride in front by a length and a half of Scorbic, and Sweet Delight on the inside. They broke away about 4 lengths in front of Lady Baton, and on the inside then Baby Boomer, 2.5 Sunny Lane. 2 further back in the race, Soulier, and last of all Spectrum, about 10 to 12 lengths off the front. At the 850 metre mark, Miss Tesla, Hall just trying to get her to come back a little underneath him, about a length in front of a Scorbic, 2.5 Sweet Delight. About 3 further back, Baby Boomer, Lady Baton on the outside of him, 1.5 Sunny Lane. As he backs the speed off in front, Sunny Lane third last from Soulier, and Spectrum last of all. She's a real free goer at the 600, Miss Tesla. She's about a half length in front front from Ascorbic and Sweet Delight, who goes up third. Two to Baby Boomer, Lady Baton. Then Sunny Lane, followed by Soulier and Spectrum. Again, she got away when they straightened up Miss Tesla. She raced 3 lengths in front now from Ascorbic, and further back Sweet Delight. Miss Tesla's gone well clear at the 300-metre mark, 3 in front of Ascorbic. Sweet Delight, Baby Boomer, then Sunny Lane, and a gap to Spectrum down the outside. Miss Tesla at the 200-metre mark. She's over 4 in front. Gregory Michael pulls the whip now on Miss Tesla. She's 4-5 in front. Baby Boomer got up to second, but today's her day. Cat and Mouse Tactics in front by Hawley, and Miss Tesla wins 3 lengths to Baby Boomer, a length away third Sunny Lane, then Ascorbic, a gap to Sweet Delight. Spectrum didn't come on, and last of all of the main bunch would have been Soulier, tailed off his Lady Baton.
3 Miss Tesla, $3, 1.40. 7 Baby Boomer, $2.30. 1 Sunny Lane, $1.60.
Almost. On the Super Tab, 3 Miss Tesla, $2.90, 1.30, set Perth. 7 Baby Boomer to return, $2.70, and 1 Sunny Lane, $1.80. Now, Adelaide follows Perth. 1 Prince of Luca there. We'll try for this update for the 7th. 1 Prince of Luca.
Favourite going in, the Hind, for the Derby trial. The Derby's not too far away itself in South Australia. Many of these 3-year-olds will be having their final hit out today. Here's Ron.
Thank you, Matthew. We've just had a hell of a storm come through here. It blew gale force winds and very heavy rain. It certainly emptied the stand because it blew right in underneath the stand, but they're just about set. Weather just clearing now in time for the Derby Trial Stakes. But that was some sort of a sharp storm, I'll tell you. They're off now in the Derby Trial. And away very nicely was one at big odds, East Wave, from going fast Benesto in the early part. Neptune Star is prominent, so is Belata. Close handy to Optare, and around the outside Tukey's Goal. Back to the inside King Royale from St Saviour. Ooh, in trouble there. One of them seemed to dip back in the field. Danish Habit might have got onto the heels of one. It's back to second last, and in that shuffle up, Prime Monarch went ahead of it. So too did the toppy Prince of Luke, and also in that division lay Beale. Getting going again on the inside, Danish Habit recovers some lost ground. Further back behind those then the Hind, who's got up on the inside and is one of the last, and back there with them too is Well Stamped. As they move along the far side on the outer track, and Benesto, the Victorian, took over. Benesto by a couple. Neptune Star was second. In third placing up on the outside, I think it's Belata, I should say. They were followed by King Royale, saving some ground per medium. A nice run on the inside of Eastway, and they were followed further on the track by Lay Beale, who's close handy. Then Danish Habits and Saviour at the 1,000 on the side on the outer track. Further back in the field behind those then, as they move down towards the home turn, we've got Optare racing back there in the field with Prime Monarch, and also over on the inside was the Hind, who's still about 8 lengths off them. Further back then came Prince of Luca, and last of all is Well Stamped. Benesto went for home around the turn to the 650, got 2 lengths in front of Neptune Star, King Royale. Further out on the track, Tukey's Gold, and then Lay Beale, and they were followed out by Belata, St Saviour down the outside, and further back along the inside, Danish Habit, but this is going very comfortably. Benesto with 400 to travel. It's 3 in front of Neptune Star. The Hind has started to come from behind. This might be his day today, the Hind. Oh, geez, made up a lot of ground. He's raced up to join Benesto. Benesto's rider forced to go for the whip, but the Hind has come from well behind, and the Hind is putting up a great Derby trial here. He'll come away and win very, very comfortably. This McGinney can get through the ground. The Hind goes away, eased down on the line, and walks to the post to score by about 4. Benesto's second. Third placing over on the outside, trying to pick up the colours, was it Belata from King Royale. Very hard to see through these windows, and back behind those then came Tukey's Gold. They were followed back then to St Saviour. Neptune Star pulling up quickly after going over the post. Now further back behind those came Prince of Luca. Lay Beale didn't fire a shot up Tear, and further back Danish Habit and Prime Monarch. Well back behind them Eastway, and also Well Stamped.
Look at that for an easy win. He gives the impression that 2,400 metres of the Derby's not going to be a problem. The Hind, he's down on the line. That's an armchair ride. 3:10, 160. Benesto, not even in the picture, has run second at $2.20 for a place, and it's tight for third. But the Hind from the Peter Hayes stable has won the South Australian Derby trial, ridden by Simon Price. The Gold Coast Race 6, Roving Boys tightened up to 160 now. Tesla 550 and Euro Merleys at $5.80, and they're moving in for this class 4.
And away they go. Blue Gum on the inside was first out from Lively Lad. Foramore's up looking for the lead and will get it. Gallo chasing him, Don Tristram, and Yobro's not far back either. Now, Don Tristram's rider obviously keen to lead, and Don Tristram darts through to take over narrowly from Foramore. Corporate James pulling his head off third. And on the inside next is Yobro getting back to fourth, and fifth is Taradu, two to Blue Gum. Another couple of lengths to Lively Lad, Born to Dance, and Vaindara's Ways last. They swing the first corner. Don Tristram leads 3/4 of a length on Foramore. A length away third is Taradu, followed by Yobro, and Corporate James racing fifth, the horse off the fence. A couple to Blue Gum. Then Lively Lad, Born to Dance second last, and a further 2 lengths Vaindara's Way. It's Don Tristram leading out as they come down past the 850, about a half length on Foramore. Third posse is Taradu, and tucked away Yobro, followed by Corporate James, still a horse off the fence, and only 4 lengths off the lead. A break of a length to Blue Gum, and then Vaindara's Way being revved up. Second last Lively Lad, and Born to Dance is still last as they race in the direction of the corner. They've got 500 to go, and the roughie Don Tristram leads out 3/4 of a length on Foramore. In third position racing Taradu. Corporate James is locked away. Cameron Swan trying to get into the clear on the favourite, not having much luck, and Vaindara's Way sprinted up very quickly. 300 to go. Don Tristram taken on by Vaindara's Way and Foramore. Plenty of room for Corporate James on the inside of that trio, and Blue Gum is starting to wind up. Corporate James hitting top gear, but Don Tristram still in front. Don Tristram from Corporate James, Vaindara's Way, and then Blue Gum on the outside, but they can't reach Don Tristram. And the bolter, Don Tristram, wins. By golly, there's an improvement. Don Tristram from Corporate James, Blue Gum. Further back, Lively Lad, Foramore, Vaindara's Way, weakened out of it. Oh, I reckon he's close to a win, this fella. And then Born to Dance, Taradu, and Yobro was last.
Number 10, Don Tristram to pay 93.30 and 12.10. One Corporate James, 110 for Blue Gum, 170.
Got to have another check to make sure it's Don Tristram. 10 out of 13 in the Country Cup, 10 out of 10 in the Open Handicap at Newcastle, 13 out of 13 at Gosford behind Princely. But by the same token, they were his 3 runs back from a spell, and obviously he stripped a much fitter horse today, but I'm sure even his most ardent admirer wouldn't have thought that he could win that race, but he did. And congratulations to those of you that might have had something on him. You're blessed. $84.40 and $11.50. Number 1, Corporate James, out in plenty of time as it turned out, 120. And number 4, Blue Gum, 170. The winner, Don Tristram, when he strikes form, he'll usually hold it, and he might continue on. He's by Sir Tristram from Court, beautifully bred 4-year-old chestnut horse. Trained by Bobby Law at Gosford for Mr. A.L. Macius, and ridden by Andrew Gibbons, 10-1-4. Corporate James is by Corporate Raider from Saracen Girl. Max Lee's Cameron Swan, so I suppose the weight difference was the deciding factor over the concluding part. And number 4, Blue Gum is by Bluebird from Drawaway, a 4-year-old chestnut stallion. G. Waterhouse, K. Moses, and number 7 ran 4th, Vaindara's Way. Quinella, $71, Exacta, $318.90. The trifecta was $1,092.50, and the 9 and 10 daily double paid $226.80. The time was 140.11. 140.11, the class record 134.80. 10-1-4, Sydney, race 7.
Just about set at Queanbeyan, race 7 Brisbane, the Carlton Cup at 4.35, 1 Chief De Beers 4.90-150, 2 Poetic King 15.320, 3 Celestial Choir 61.8, 4 Kidman's Cove 61.10, 5 Harvey Lad 44.7, 6 Mr Newmarket 18.380, 7 Bimbadine 89 and 13.8, Forgotten Heroes 65.8, 9 Sahara Z 46.6, 10 Malagua 15.290, 11 General Nadim, the late male sub and favourite 210-140, and 12 Al Mansour 470-170, 120,000, 42,000. Selections 11, 12 and 2. Race 7 Brisbane, the big one, the Carlton Cup at 4.35. Daily double approximates, 1 electrifying first leg winner with 1 $9.40, 2.40, 3.88, 4.94, 5 $265, 6.32, 7 $189, 8 $221, 9 $147, 10.30, 11 the sub, $7.10, 12 $11 off Queanbeyan.
Level start, although Brookfield went back to the tail of the field.
Racing.
General Nadim began quickly. Bimbadine ridden with urgency in the early part, going to the front, but the General is striding up to join him. Sahara Z Chief to be is third and fourth, then Forgotten Hero. Al Mansour a little wide in the early part, but he's let loose on him and he's going up into second berth on the outside of General Nadim. Kidman's Cove, Poetic King, getting back in the field. Harvey Ladd, Celestial Choir, and Malagua's last of all. Bimbadine is the leader as they head down the side. 750 metres to go. The General's off the rails now, cruising up to flank him, and that allows Al Mansour to travel four wide as they come down the side. Forgotten Hero next, and there goes Chief to be as he's going up wide on the track, going up to be within striking distance of the leaders. Kidman's Cove is next, followed by Celestial Choir, Poetic King, and Malaguar is last of all. Bimbadine is the leader. They're on the bend now, 400 metres to go. General Nadim is cruising outside of him. They're a length in front of Chief to be, is followed by Forgotten Hero. Al Mansour has dropped out of it. Sahara Z is just behind them. It's General Nadim in front. He goes full bore on him and he got away. He's 2 lengths in front of Chief De Beers and Bimbadine, but it's all General Nadim with 100 metres to go. The big crowd are roaring for him. Go, General! General Nadim by 3 lengths. Malagua charged home and got second. Sahara Z third. Then Chief De Beers, Bimbadine and Forgotten Hero, Poetic King. Further back was Celestial Choir, Kidman's Cove, Harvey Ladd and El Mansour, the last one over the line.
11 General Nadim, $2, $1.20. 10 Malagua, $3. 9 Sahara Z, $7.50.
And on the Super Tab 11, General Nadim, 210, 130, 10 Malagua to pay 310, 9 Sahara Z, 750. Daily double on 1 and 11, $7.10.
Coming home from a mile back, second.
Moving in Melbourne. Do you remember?
We'll go to Melbourne in just a moment. This is the National Racing Service. Now we need some more opening
time. Bounced at a good line. Savant Rouge, one of the first out with Brawny Spirit. Jumping out quickly is Source of Divorce down to the inside. And when they settle down, there are 4 of them going across to the flat rail. Now down the grandstand side here, and Savant Rouge is showing great speed out there. And Savant Rouge and Immigrant and Brawny Spirit are the leaders. When they settle now, just behind those is Checkmore from Jugulator Coltar. Further back was Video Kid, Source of Divorce, and the Medic is a long way off them on the outside rail. On the flat side here, Belzever just in front, being joined now on the outside by Bento and Golden Tulip pushing up in the middle. 3 further back, Fighter Bay, last of the flat side. Grandstand side, and on the outside here, Immigrant. Gouchy about to pull the whip on it. Savant Rouge going up to quickly tackle it from Checkmore and Jugulator. Further back then, Video Kid from Coltar, Source of Divorce. Immigrant under pressure, a gap to Brawny Spirit. Down the outside, and it's Savant Rouge in front. Savant Rouge on the outside. Yes, they're in front now from Jugulator. Coltar making a late run from Immigrant and Source of Divorce, but Savant Rouge hard on the outside fence, comes away, wins a length and 3/4 Immigrant. Third Coltar, fourth Source of Divorce and Jugulator Checkmore. Then Video Kid from further back, Fighter Bay. Golden Tulip, Belzever, a gap in the race, the Medic, and Brawny Spirit is down near the tail of the field, bar one tailed off, and that is Bento.
Number 5 Savant Rouge, 720 and 260. 8 Immigrant, 170. 6 Coltar, 630.
Super Tab there, number 5, Savant Rouge to return, $7 and $2.50. 8 Emigrant, $1.80. 6 Coltar, $4.60. Daily double on 3 and 5, $23.90. 586 confirmed there, race number 7 at Flemington. Repeating correct weight on the last at Queanbeyan. 7th in Sydney, numbers 10, 1, 4. 10 was the winner. Don Tristram paid $93.30 the win, 12.10 the place. 1 Corporate James, 110. 4 Blue Gum.
Well back, Wonder Wilshire, ordinary run, very ace.
113.2. It's like night at Mowbray. Let's go there.
Sated Count Sky, who was showing some early speed. Over on the inside is Lenton, and going up is D Spring and Absent Ruler. Coming across from over on the outside, Kentucky Ballad between them from Richmond Hare. Boss of the Bridge was behind him, and back on the inside is No Equal. Then came Bold Burglar, Cardinal's Image in the gloom, and back last of all is Sanduri. Absent Ruler over the 800 metre crossing was the leader. About 3/4 of a length here to Lenton, and Richmond Hare is between them. There's one further out on the outside. That could be D Spring, and behind him over on the inside now is Count Sky, followed by Happy Yoga, Kentucky Ballad. They're followed then by Boss of the Bridge, and behind him was No Equal. As they come towards the home turn, Sanduri went up very deep on the track. Bold Burglar. Bowstone is back on the inside, giving them an enormous start, and Cardinal's Image is last. Into the straight, the leader is Absent Ruler. Richmond Hare down the outside of the track. Count Sky can't go on. They're followed by Kentucky Bella, but Absent Ruler is clear. Richmond Hare is now gathering him in. Absent Ruler stopping badly. Richmond Hare took the lead, and Richmond Hare in a boil over wins it. Richmond Hare gets up to win it. Close for the Miners. Out wide, Sandaree. Bowstone flew home when the race was over. Absent Ruler stopped to a walk, followed by No Equal Never in it from Count Sky. Bold Burglar, Kentucky Bella, D Spring, Happy Ochre, a shocker. Then came Lenton Cardinal's Image, and Boss of the Bridge back with him.
Look how dark it is at Mowbray. It's ridiculous running races at this time of year in those southern states. I've been saying for ages that at this time of year, the last race in those southern states should be 4:20, not well after 5 o'clock. The last at Melbourne's at 5:15 this afternoon. It's going to be very dark then. But that was ridiculous at Mowbray. It was at like night. They need some night racing down there and set some lights up. Richmond Hare's won the last. Sarah Mills, the jockey, and we'll confirm those placings soon. Randwick Race 8, they're moving in for the Emancipation Stakes, and it's a very open race too, as most mares races often are. Shindig 5.20, Prairie at 5.50, and $6.50 for Amber, and Parley is also at 6.50. Kembla Grange, Hunter's Dream 4.
Off they go. The last at Randwick, and one of the best to jump away, the well-tried Amber. Getting out nicely was Greedy.